a flash earlier on. In the end, they don't see an opening, and Kerp will be safe for now.
With Kerp being so low on mana right now, Alex is in no threat of taking additional barrel poke, and he can just carry on diving onto Kerp as long as he's in front of the tower.
Yeah, going straight on into him. Actually, again goes in. This take a turret hit this time around, but Kerp, again, not really even able to farm things up, and Alex has doubled the CS of his opposite number. This bottom lane been fairly quiet up until now.
Yeah, at this point in time, Alex is just in complete control of mid because of the way he's played this early game. The bottom lane, 5 CS difference. I mean, they're not going in for each other. Level 3 Leona versus level 3 Thresh. Also 2 exhausts as far as our supports are concerned, and also flash teleports for our top laners. So let's keep that in mind as they get closer to level 6. The first real sort of gank in lane, as it were. RNA is trying to sneak into the bottom lane, but a ward in that bush will reveal him. So no real attempt coming from that one. I think, with the exception of mid lane, fairly slow farming start between Millenium and Gambit.
Which is, I think, what we expected from this one, to be honest. Millenium yesterday ramped up slowly. I think it's fair to say against SK they had a big lead, but look at this, Diamond has come around the back, and Kevin, as Mundo, not got his ultimate just yet. That's a good briefcase thrown in there, and Diamond actually taking quite a lot of damage there, and he might have to just back off. Yep, they've not got the damage at this point to finish off a Mundo.
Yeah, it did need to get away just a little bit there. Sonic Wave applying some damage and pulling him into the bushes. Right now, though, the one thing we're going to talk about, the first back from Kerp on that Gragas, he's got himself 3 Doran's rings. So, feeling the pinch, feeling the pressure of Alex in that mid lane, he wants the additional HP, ability power, and mana regen to try and throw out more barrels and make up that CS difference. He was about 15 or 20 down. That is still sitting in about the same case. And we'll have to see if Alex can maintain that lane dominance with his Vamp Scepter and pickaxe that he's longsword he's picked up.
This bottom lane, still, I think, dangerous in the fact that you've got Leona and Thresh in there, and when one of them, especially Edward, you know, he's a guy that once he's made his mind up, he's definitely going to be going in for that one. Jerry, we'll see if he has a similar thought to this one. There's the continued dominance of mid lane. RNA are not going to come around. He's currently level 4, going to do a bit more farming. He's right now 6 CS behind that of Diamond, who is on the top side of his own jungle doing the golems. Yeah,
crucially, he doesn't have that flash available. It will be up in the next sort of minute and a half. And the first invade that we've seen from Diamond was incredibly successful. He found Aranea. Lee Sin is a better duelist at levels 1 to 4 than Vi is. And until Vi gets some items, he's not really going to be able to contest with all of the additional damage and kill potential that Lee Sin offers. So Aranea playing a little bit of catch-up as we see Diamond once again moving to his red buff. I think we may see Diamond Prox moving into lane once he gets these next buffs. I think that's probably going to be the signal. He's got his Dragon Rage available, his kill potential with all of the CC in the middle, the top lane, and the bottom lane, as long as some of those hooks or flame chompers connect.
No. Millenium here just backed off somewhat from this bottom lane. A couple of wards coming down, and Jerry actually getting all 3 hits off required onto that one. And that will mean, and it's pretty much waste. Obviously came from the trinket, so not really costing them anything in the long run, but a ward that's not giving you any vision could, in theory, be costing you.
Yeah, very smart positioning there from Jerry. Still hanging out in the bushes, trying to just, play a little bit of zoning. For those of you that don't know, Leona's Q, the Shield of Daybreak, it actually resets your auto attack. So you can land an auto attack, Q the ward, and then immediately land another one. That's what allows you to get it down before it hits the stealth. And as we were talking about, Diamond now level 6. He does have that red buff available. He's now setting up a gank. He's actually foregone the blue buff, which has respawned. And if Creatine and J-Ree stick around or they get caught, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, the hook missing. The Q will land, but it's on to J-Ree, level 5 Leona. And Diamond says, nope, that's not going to happen. We're going to back off. Actually, Alex and Kerp going to exchange some damage from this one. And Alex going pretty aggressive there. That's forced Kerp away.
So 2 things very quickly. The bottom lane, that was an uninspiring gank. Death Sentence didn't connect. Diamond Prox lands his Sonic Wave and backs away. In the mid lane, Kerp actually psychs Alex out, makes Alex think that a explosive cask is coming in, and almost anticipating the battle, throws down his ultimate. However, now, here comes Lee.
Oh, the kick back there on towards Kerp, who separates them both with the barrel. He's going to body slam away as well with the use of his flash. And he gets away. Incredible.
Very nicely done. Dodging that 3rd strike of the broken wings from Riven would have knocked him up in the air, allowed more of those red buff stacks to be applied, and just slowed and held in place, potentially to be killed. So, nice reply from Diamond. Manages to get another flash out of Millenium. But for the time being, no kills on the board as we approach the 10-minute mark.
There's level 6 RNA just throwing off a ward into the Dragon Pit. And we're almost at 10 minutes here. It's usually the kind of time where Gambit are already thinking about going towards Dragon, but also you might argue a time where Gambit have maybe already got something on the board to allow those Dragon plays to come in. And right now it's pretty damn even across the board.
Yeah, I think because we've got the straight head-to-head matchups of the 2v2s and 1v1s, etc., it slows down your laning phase. It extends it quite naturally because you're trading. You can see Millennium's tower has barely been touched, as is a very similar situation for the Gambit squad. And until a clear victory has been won with a kill or with immense vision control, I don't think we're going to see that Dragon being started. The first real aggressive play on the map is coming from Millenium, as they want to make a play for red buff. It has already been taken. It was a little while ago, and we do see RNA catching Diamond out.
Yeah, going on to him, and actually they're going to throw Assault on Battery his way, but have they got the follow-up onto it? No, they haven't. Did use his kick there in that one, so that's, you know, an ultimate for an ultimate. The junglers both losing out on that front.
Yeah, nicely done there by Diamond, just to get away. Very cheeky from Kerp, actually steals the Wraith. And I think had Diamond been a little bit slower on that Dragon's Rage kick backwards, Kerp could have potentially gone in range. He had no flash available thanks to the gank, so there was no flash cask that could come down. Diamond, once again, playing a little bit safe, or rather getting out quite cleanly, so well played to him there. Millenium right now, I think, keeping up. CS numbers even across the board, and considering how much pressure Kerp was feeling very early on, I think he's done very well for that Gragas.
Farm down on this bottom lane. Actually, 5 different. That's been how it's been for the entire game almost at this stage. Now we do have 2 parts of the Trinity Force for Creatine. And Genja actually with that BF sword, a second Doran's Blade and the longsword from a little earlier on as well. The supports also going a similar route.
I don't think either of these dual lanes really want to have a big fight, because we haven't seen Jerry going in for any engagements. Now that he's got Solar Flare and RNA moving up, this may be the go signal. And even Edward's, you know, death sentences, they've been a little bit lackluster here. We do see Diamond Prox has stood right on top of a ward there, so Millenium will be aware of his positioning. And if RNA comes in, he doesn't have that Assault and Battery, so they need to draw out this bait a little bit longer before RNA has got that guaranteed lockdown. Maybe once Diamond is gone, this is the signal now to go, and they've done it.
Yeah, they have Diamond out of that one. There's the ultimate coming out of Leona, and True Shot Barrage comes across as well. In the end, they're not able to pick up a kill, but Creatine going aggressive. The Zap will slow him down. They've landed the hook as well, but Gambit can't follow through, and Millennium bully them out.
If Edward sticks around, Assault and Battery's available. RNA may throw himself in.
Yeah, they've thrown the box down there. There is RNA going down. He's taken a lot of damage and actually gets away from the turret, but look at this. Warwick's coming around the back. They're all low. This could be disaster. This could be disaster for Millennium. Darian going to ulti in towards Aranea. Creatine going low. Have they got the damage to finish him off? 1 or 2 more hits will do it. Uses a barrier. It's a kill for Diamond. There is Kevin now in the bottom lane, and Gambit walk off. That's 3 for 1.
Very good turnaround from Gambit. They lost Edward under the tower, but a very clear call that a teleport was coming in from Darian. Edward threw himself into Millenium, held the members in place long enough for Darian to arrive. Thanks to the kills that they've secured and the numbers advantage, plus having Smite available, they now grab themselves a dragon as well and give themselves a 2,000 gold lead. That was very good calling from Gambit and very good reactionary play, realizing, hey, we're going to lose members under the tower, but we can turn it around by picking up kills and following it with the dragon.
Let's have a look down some of the items now. We've got, I say, a bit of a breather. That was the only real action that we have seen so far. If we look up towards the top lane, Darian in there with the Chalice. Just finish off his Wit's End as well after picking that last kill up. We also have the BF sword added into the Vamp Scepter for Riven in the middle. And we can see that Gragas, Kerp, pretty standard start against someone like Riven, picking up the Seeker's Arm Guard for the start of it.
Yeah, because he's gone for the triple Dorans, it's actually also slowed him down from progressing further in his build. Currently sitting on just shy of 1,600 gold, so needs to get a good couple hundred more up before he can finish off the likes of that Zhonya's Hourglass. But when you're facing all of the physical damage that Riven's putting out, you can't afford to go for MR or a similar build. We actually seen Kautar doing that on Zyra yesterday. It didn't work out for him, you know, focusing on that Athene's and Holy Grail against the Kha'Zix. So smart decision making from Kerpen. It's keeping him alive. He's still only 10 CS down.
Well, if we look at the gold total here over the game. 2,000 is what Gambit lead with. Obviously, all things considered, that 3-1 kill scoreline and the Dragon straight after that as well. We can see the individual scores there from the lanes, and between most of them, there's not that much of a difference. It's just in the jungle, really.
Yeah, and that's, of course, because of the fact that Diamond's got himself that kill in there. He's also managed to be involved with the Dragon pickup, so a little bit more global gold on his side of the map. They've caught Edward at great Zenith.
Great, indeed. The box goes down, and that stops J-Ree from pushing any further through. The Chompers came in as well. We did see Kerp starting to roam down that bottom side, but in the end, not really able to lock them up. You have to give credit to Edward as well for the flay that stopped J-Ree coming in.
Yeah, immediately just pulled him backwards and prevented that. The solar flare was a tiny bit off. I think good reactionary play. Now, with Diamond Procs moving towards the river, if a death sentence connects, they may want to be going in for a fight. And as I start saying that, I'm a little unsure about where he wants to move. You see a death sentence does catch out Creaton. There comes Genja.
That was a brilliant hook coming in, but Creaton able to walk away. There's the Chompers onto J-Ree, which means he takes a lot of damage. Genja has the Lantern there for safety, but he's happy to do the damage. There's a super mega death rocket, and Creaton survives with about 20 HP, I think, overall from that one. So very close for Genja.
Very close indeed. As it stands right now, the hook goes out, doesn't connect Arena, and Genja, you feel like they deserved that one. Connected every single shot, forcing the dual lane of Millenium backwards. Alex and Diamond are trying to roam. Sonic Wave has caught Arena, and here comes Alex.
Oh, Alex coming in there as well, but they couldn't quite get behind them and get that kick on there. That's what Diamond was looking for. Throw one back into the team. Millenium have replied by coming over to this bottom side. I think Gambit might want to be heading away from this one. There's a barrel. It locks down two of them. Edward's a dead man. Kerp gets that. Assault and battery goes all the way through the wall. There's a solar flare as well. Genja's not getting out of this one. That will be Arenea's kill. And Millenium turning around just like that.
Very good turnaround, but that is a mistake from Gambit. They dove for the kills. Got me super excited that they were going to go for the fight, and Alex backed away. Unfortunately, the rest of the team did not respond as quickly. As such, they lose 2 kills. Alex has dealt a lot of damage on the mid lane tower, but has been unable to secure it. And the first tower of the game should in fact be falling as Millenium try to shove this one down. They're actually denying CS here from Gambit's dual lane. It will eventually fall victim. So a very good reactionary play to Gambit's overextension.
You're allowed to get overexcited. I casted a replay yesterday, so you're allowed one of them per day, I've been told. Alex here just making sure that his turret doesn't take too much damage as Kurt just throws that wave back in his direction. So after that, we're all tied up on the kills. Obviously, Millenium have that turret advantage. Gold's, yeah, it's been brought back here to about 1,000 between them. We've got the Dragon coming up in less than 2 minutes. That's our next big fight point, surely. Now,
yesterday, Millenium had great Dragon control against SK Gaming. In this matchup, they were unable to secure the first one because, of course, they lost the fight. And I think Gambit is still probably my favorite team when it comes to Dragon control in Europe. I think they put more emphasis on that objective than many of the other European teams. And we'll see how Millenium decide to challenge. There's a lot of wards down already for Gambit in and around that river that are starting to time out. So they'll need to refresh those as Dragon is getting closer to spawning. And that could be the next point of contention.
1 minute to go on that one. J-Ree's got a pink ward inside of the Tribush, plus a couple around that Dragon pit as well. So the duo's going to face off here once again. In terms of items, Creaton already got that Trinity Force in there, the Bloodthirster on the other side. There's a Bloodthirster for Alex along with a Brutalizer as well. We already talked about that Zhonya's Hourglass a little earlier for Kerp. In terms of the tanky top lanes, and we only really saw with that teleport coming down there, Sunfire Cape for Mundo, that Wit's End, the Chalice, and now a Giant's Bell.